Leos, welcome to March 2018. I hope you guys are doing well. Really quickly, 4 cards already popped out as soon as I got in the zone. So really focus on the past, really kind of fighting as well over the past, trying to get back to that place. There's been a lot of judgment, a lot of judgment. I don't know if it's on your part or if it's on somebody else's part, but this relationship, this love in the past, that's where that judgment is coming from. So you haven't cleared whatever was going on in the past, and it is time to just end it and let it go. I know for a while now we've been talking about moving on, and if it feels like you're still stuck and you haven't been able to actually physically move on, that's probably because you haven't emotionally moved on, or vice versa. A lot of the times I talk to people and they're like, oh no, I'm so over it, and it's like, then why is it coming up in your cards, you know? So the best way to do that, I think I've talked to you guys about this before, is to use Saint Germain's Violet Flame, and what that does is it just cuts the cords. You know, you cut the cord to the person or the situation that is just not serving you anymore. Envision a violet flame coming above you and just cleansing you and just kind of allowing you to move on, okay? Because of all this fighting and this judgment over the past, it's really killing your stability. It's really killing your foundation, and there's like kind of confusion there. It's like, well, should I continue to work or should I just let go? You know, should I actually put in the work? Or because I'm so tied to this person, should I just maybe say that this is the end and it's time to kind of run/sprint away? You've been giving a lot. I'm seeing some shoulder injuries, shoulder pain, either from you or the person that you've been fighting with. And that shoulder pain really is just stress, and it really is just, you know, taking on a lot of burdens. You know, I was just reading Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life, and what she was saying about the shoulder, it's feeling like you kind of have to take on all the responsibility and feeling like you're indispensable. And it's true, a lot of Leos in my life are absolutely indispensable to the point where I have to force myself to be like, okay, I don't need you, even though I'm like, no, I need you. Why won't you text me back? So recognize that, yeah, maybe getting some judgment could also be from yourself, right? It could also be feeling judged on your own terms. That being said, those were the cards that just popped out. But I do want to talk about what's going on in the sky this month. Like, the sky is just, there's like so much going on. So on March 1st, we have a full moon in Virgo. So what that means is all the Virgo aspects, all the Virgo key themes such as work, diet, exercise, day-to-day routine, coworkers, your job but not your career, and also perfectionism, criticism, self-criticism, criticism of others, just wanting to kind of help others through, you know, perfectionism. You know, a lot of Virgos, especially Venus in Virgo, they won't show affection, but they'll help you. They will completely reinvent you with you. They'll show you all of your flaws, and then they'll give you solutions on how to clear those flaws, how to kind of work with that. So that's what this full moon is doing. It's going to bring up a lot of that criticism, self-criticism, self-judgment, so that you can just own it and clear it and say, you know what, this is what I need to do going forward. And then March 6th, we have a huge shift. We have Mercury and Venus entering Aries, so it is a fellow fire sign like the Leo, and that means that people are going to be running their mouths. They're going to be running their mouths, but it's coming from the heart because Venus is in Aries, so there's going to be a lot of, you know, dating, a lot of date night. It's now March, it's springtime, so people are more trying to get out there, so that's going to be really fun. However, March 8th, we have a Jupiter retrograde. Okay, Jupiter retrogrades I find very fun, but I was born with Jupiter retrograde, so I don't get as impacted by it. But Jupiter retrograde, that's a planet of expansion, optimism, you know, philosophy, theology, long distance travel. That's going to be all inward. You're going to be doing a lot of inward self-study. Wow, a lot of cards just popped out there. So a lot of inward self-study when it comes to Jupiter retrograde. So just own it, you know, get a journal, get something that you can write and create, but keep it very personal, keep it incredibly personal. And if there's something that you want to expand on in your life, March 8th, during that Jupiter retrograde, is an excellent time to do that. I know I'm talking so fast, I'm just really excited. I'm so happy it's spring. Like February, I don't know how you guys felt about February, but I just wanted to crawl into a hole and just stay there forever. February is definitely brutal in my opinion. So March 17th, we have a new moon in Pisces. So that means anything you want to create, anything that you want to tap into your spirituality, tap into your intuition, your spiritual side to create, March 17th is when you're going to write a list of all those things you want to see manifested into your life. If you are thinking about getting more creative, which I think a lot of Leos are right now, and it's just about finding that courage to just be like, this is where I want to put some of my creative energy. We need the Leos to be creative. They're the stars of the zodiac, so please, and the ringleaders, so please use this new moon in Pisces, use the Jupiter retrograde to really figure out what you want to create out in the world so that when this energy passes, you can come out there like the stars that you guys are, okay? And then Mercury retrograde on March 22nd, so that's always fun. Mercury retrograde is when we go internal. Once again, communication is not going to be fun. Short distance travel. Everybody knows about Mercury retrograde. Honestly, Google it. It comes so often that we just have to deal with it. And then the last big thing this March is the full moon in Libra. Okay, so just like the full moon in Virgo, it's going to bring up a lot of stuff that we need to release, but this is going to be related to relationships, partnerships, agreements, like legal agreements, which could be like a marriage, you know what I mean? A boss, any relationship issues, they're going to be brought up just to kind of clear it, okay? So that being said, now that I've already talked your ear off, the cards that popped out before we get into the actual reading, this is what you need to know right now. This is what the cards are like, let me hear it. So we talked about the fighting in the past, over the past love, over, the love that has passed, and just feeling a lot of judgment because of that relationship, a lot of judgment because of, what was happening in the past. And that could be self-judgment, that could be directed toward yourself, or that could be, something that you've manifested into your life because you feel like you're being judged. We only kind of see outward, like we're a window, right? So if we're looking through our perspective of judgment, that's exactly what's going to come back in, especially if you find that you judge other people. And to know if you judge other people, drive around. How do you communicate with the other drivers? How do you communicate with the driver who cut you off? How you drive is how you live your life. And honestly, like realistically, I kind of hate to admit it, but I get driven around. I don't even drive myself. I literally get driven around. So what is that telling you about my life? But honestly, drive around and see how you react to other people on the road. Are you calling that person an idiot? Are you looking to see, if it's a female driver? That's how you know the judgment that you're putting out there. And if you're putting out judgment, it's going to come back times 3. Really bleeding out over this instability of a foundation because of that judgment and because of that past, feeling really overburdened about who you're giving to, what you're giving, how much time, how much energy, and, that lack of support, feeling like, well, I support so many people, why can't I feel that support back? Why is it not coming back? And it really is just your intention, how you're putting it out there. When you are putting support out there, when you are helping other people and giving to other people, is it from a negative place? Is it from a, or is it from a, I'm happy to give, I'm a Leo, I'm generous, and I can do this? So we have 7 cards that have popped out all face down. So it's something that you haven't acknowledged. It's something that you haven't faced. And these cards are a new frame of mind over this young Knight of Cups, younger than you, either emotionally immature in that aspect or actually younger than you. This person is definitely very emotional, very, very emotional. And there's somebody from your past. So could be a child, somebody that you are connected to. I'm also seeing a J. So either a J in their first, middle, last name. Could also be a U, maybe. J or a U. This person is kind of snake-like. Like you see that they're growing up, and you see that they're shedding their skin. And I don't mean snake-like. I feel like sometimes when I say snake-like, people take offense to that. But I actually don't mean that at all. A snake is not, in my opinion, a harmful thing. A snake is a creature, a living creature that sheds its old skin in order to continue growing and continue living its life. You know what I mean? A lot of the times certain snakes will only attack when they feel threatened. So it's almost like if you feel like this person is snake-like, how have you threatened them? And how are they shedding their old skin? And maybe that's where some issues are coming in. Because the new frame of mind when it comes to this young Knight of Cups, it is turning into some positivity, and it's really affecting your reputation, how you see yourself now because of this Knight of Cups, okay? There is still some fear there, some fear of that change, some fear that they don't need you anymore, even though they are boosting up your reputation, boosting up how you see yourself because of their transformation. It's almost like, well, am I going to be left out in the cold? And then this Knight of Wands comes in. So an older type masculine sign, fire type sign. I'm seeing a U again. So if your last name has a U in it and it's like a family bond, I'm definitely seeing another U. And an M maybe? An M. I could see an M in here as well. So this person has put themselves, or maybe you've put them on a pedestal. So there is some fear there, but everything is really happy in the family. Everything is really happy in the family. So those cards that you haven't acknowledged is that this Knight of Cups needs a new frame of mind, needs to be supported with more positivity, needs you to increase their reputation and kind of build them up without fear, without saying, well, if I build you up too much, are you going to leave me? If I build you up too much, is it going to change our relationship? Use the King of Wands as well, and that's going to really empower the entire family, the entire union, the entire situation. And when I say family, it's not necessarily, married family. It could absolutely be friendships as well. So we'll see how that goes. Because it seems that there's been a lot of fighting, Leo, a lot of fighting for change. Change is here. And because Leo is a fixed sign, a lot of the times they don't want to embrace that change. It's especially if you have a lot of fixed placements in your rising and your moon sign. But change is absolutely here, and it's really just about having fun. Once again, Louise Hay was talking about, if you're coughing a lot, she was like, put your hand to your throat and say, I'm willing to change. So coughing randomly, or like coughing in the middle, in the middle of a conversation, it's pretty much you telling the universe that you're not willing to change. So say that as many times as you possibly can. I am willing to change. I am willing to change. Look yourself in the mirror. Say your name first. Look yourself dead in the eyes and say, I am willing to change. And you're going to see how much that change affects you in a positive way, because there's still a lot of negativity over heartbreak involving 3 people, and that's what you're manifesting out there. You're putting out negativity and heartbreak. That's how you're living your life. So naturally, that's how you're going to see the world. You're going to see the world through a lens of heartbreak and negativity, and that's how you end up like this, feeling powerless. But realistically, you have all of the power you need in order to really transform your life. It's just figuring out what you want to do with it, and where you want to kind of let go of things and say, yeah, I did something in the past, but you know what? Things are changing. Things are getting better. New feelings are forming. I'm transforming myself as well. And people will naturally start to embrace that. They're going to respect that in you. They're going to respect the transformations that you've made. And that's the theme of the reading. So right now, kind of seems you've really been focusing on money and finances, really focusing on that. Just trying to get the house in order, just trying to get the house and family in order, trying to get to that place of stability. But because of it, it's coming through red eyes. It's coming through kind of really fixed red eyes when it comes to what you're building. And it's feeling like you're pushing some people out. So the obstacle and the aid to this, focus on money and finances and power as well, and not focusing on how lucky you naturally are, is really in your own thoughts. This is the obstacle and the aid. So some thought, some thinking has held you completely hostage to this idea that you have to hold on to your power and you can't give it up. You can't be willing to change. But subconsciously, you're going through some crazy cycles. So these 2 full moons that are coming in this month are really going to transform your current situation of kind of holding on to your power, like you can't let it go, People want to see some vulnerability in you, Leos. People really want to see it, because you make them vulnerable. You make them incredibly vulnerable. Maybe that's just a personal experience, but I find that I'm always trying to, maybe also because I'm a Libra, I feel like when it comes to a Leo, I'm always just trying to be in their light. You know, you guys radiate so brightly that people are naturally gravitating toward you. You don't have to hold on to that power. Shine your beacon. You know what I mean? Shine your light. A candle, what's that quote where it's like a candle doesn't go out by lighting another candle. You know, the flame just gets bigger. So it's really all about changing your frame of mind. In your thoughts is a King of Cups. Maybe this is a person that you feel like you need to kind of hold onto your power and not really give that power away. And this is a person who's really taking up a lot of your thought power as well. So this King of Cups is somebody very emotional, deep emotions, definitely deep emotions, wears some type of jewelry and you're linked to them in some way. They love sweets, they love baked goods, they do give you praise, they do give you optimism and thumbs up, but a lot of the times it's clouded in emotion. So you have to kind of like dig through it where you're like, was that a compliment? Is this person happy with me? It's always clouded behind some sort of emotion that could feel negative and hurtful at first, but it really just is them doing the best that they can, right? Okay, so you right now, there is something missing at home, okay? Something missing at home, it's right there. It is right there. You are willing to change. You are willing to change, Leo, because it is right there. And I don't know if it's just stubbornness or if it's that fixed sign where, you know, you just can't seem to open yourself up just a little bit more to accept it in, okay? And it's something missing from home and family, okay? Speaking of home and family, your friends and family have kind of backed off you a little bit just because they're like, well, you're really focusing on your investments. You're really focusing on what you're growing. They know that you're kind of in a confused state right now where it's like, where are you going, Leo? What are you doing? So they're kind of just giving you that time alone to figure out what you need to do. So don't feel upset. Just use that alone time to really kind of cocoon and figure it out for yourself. Hope and fear. We have another person here. Hope and fear. This person is a lot more talkative, a lot more opinionated. They're married or have been married in the past or partnered up, like could be a common law for sure. The way that they talk, like I'm seeing that red around their throat. They talk like very passionately, very fiery. They have like a fire tongue, I guess you could say. And I think the reason why you hope and fear this person is because they speak the truth that, you know, that judgment that you're feeling where it's like, let me just kind of pull myself away from this person because their judgment is truth and they're going to speak it and I don't want to acknowledge it, okay? But you also kind of do want it. You also kind of do hope for it because it'll force you to look yourself in the mirror. This person is like a mirror for you, that honesty, that truth. Last card, Leo, for your March is a new frame of mind when it comes to your power, a new frame of mind when it comes to your money. So because you're so focused on this, holding on to it, because of this emotional type person taking up a lot of your thoughts, you might as well change your thought pattern when it comes to this person. If this person is so connected to how you feel about your power and your wealth and your abundance and your prosperity and how happy you are, then you might as well change the way that you think about it. You might as well just, like, it really is getting to a point of just faking it until you make it, you know? This person, that's what I was doing every morning. I just write down, you know, I'm so thankful for my family that supports me and blah, blah, even though it's bullshit. I'm like, where's the support? But the more you say it, the more you convince yourself, and then that's all you can see. That's all you can see is the support. It's really incredible how it works. I'm trying to think of another example. It's kind of like somebody looking through grieving eyes. You know what I mean? They're only going to see the world through that dark cloud. Like if you know a negative person, everything that they see is just the negative of it, where you're like, but isn't this actually a positive thing? That's how you need to kind of change things around when it comes to this emotional, watery type sign, is just saying, yeah, they are trying to give you the thumbs up, but it's coming from an emotional place. So try and like really dig forward and dig through it and change your thought pattern, because that's going to really empower you. But first, it's going to confuse you. first it's really going to confuse you. It's not going to be an easy process, but it's totally going to be worth it, okay? And you can use the full moons to do that, okay? So this is a card that the Leos clearly need in order to carry on their march. Divine purpose, okay? So that judgment that you're feeling about the past, everything happens for a reason. There's no need to judge it. You don't have to put it as good or bad. It just is, okay? So gain back your power, all right? Like, I think because of the past, you're like, but a new thought process is trying to come in. And that new thought process over this young Knight of Cups is really going to change your optimism and your positivity and how you see yourself and how other people see you as well. But recognizing that everything is part of a divine purpose. You don't need to keep beating yourself up over the past. Absolutely not. No way. All I can see is this person like punching themselves in the gut, you know? You don't have to do that. Nobody's judging you. It might feel like they are, but nobody's judging you. We're all just trying to figure this life out, right? We're all just trying to live and love and be happy, so it won't matter in a couple years. Okay, so that's what I have for you, Leos. I hope you have an amazing, amazing March. What I'm offering right now, which I'm really excited about, is free photo readings. So send me pictures of, you know, this King of Wands, this King of Cups, this Knight of Cups, this King of Swords, especially sending me the picture of you with them. And I'm offering like a little free blurb that is just based on an intuitive read of them. And it can kind of, I think what it's been doing is kind of putting some compassion and understanding, especially because a lot of the times when we see the past and we just see people as victims instead of somebody who's victimizing us, we can kind of accept them for who they are. They're like, okay, you're like that because of this, you know? So the photo read, if you want to just do it yourself, really what you do is you cover up the mouth and you really focus on the eyes. You know, the eyes are truly the window to the soul. Which eye is lit up more, because the right represents the masculine side, the left represents the feminine side. So whichever eye is lit up more, you can see where the hurt is actually coming from, if it's coming from the father or coming from the mother. And then you can kind of trail that along and be like, well, how was this person's relationship with their mother, with their father, you know, and just really kind of see it from their perspective. So I really hope this helps for you guys. And I will see you in April 2018. Love you guys so much and have an amazing March. Bye, guys.